Welcome to our weekly home buyer seminar. We get together every week and talk about buying your first home or your next home. I'm Bill Gross, and along with my friend and colleague,
Patricia Castillo.
And our good friend and colleague,
Shannon Linder. How's it going, guys?
We're doing great, man. Is it just me, or is like all of a sudden everybody's looking to buy or sell a house?
Well, we're getting into that spring market, right? Even though it's raining and thundering and everything, but it's definitely picking up. I know you're busy, Bill. My phone is definitely ringing. I'm showing more property this week, and I can see the activity. It's definitely bubbling. There's buyers that are, just coming off the sidelines. They were waiting for a while, and I still hear some buzz from some of my clients that are, they're thinking, well, we're going to wait a little bit longer, see if the rates come down a little bit more. But that could be counterproductive because the prices, if you've noticed, have not come crashing down, right? They've maybe settled in some markets, but the prices are not really coming down. So if you're waiting, you may end up paying more money for the same house because more buyers are coming into the market right now. We're definitely seeing that uptick in buyer activity, mortgage applications, and a lot of multi-generational purchasing happening too.
Yeah, I'm seeing that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I had two contingent sales. Oftentimes, meaning a buyer's going to buy a house, and then the seller of that house is buying another house. Right. Kind of daisy chains. And in my experience, unless you really know what you're doing, and most agents don't, they fall out, because the buyer of their house may not qualify or change their mind or whatever. And both closed. Mm-hmm. And I have sellers I've been talking to for a while, and they're all like, let's get started. Like, things are moving, happening right now. You just feel a different energy. Maybe it's just the weather, or football season's over. I'm not sure what the distractions were, but I definitely feel, on a personal level, yeah, I'm closing one tomorrow. I'm closing one a week from tomorrow, and I'm putting 6 listings in MLS when we're done with this call today. So things are busy. Shannon, how do you see mortgage applications?
They're up. They're really. I saw a big uptick in the last 2 weeks for sure, and people are, like Patricia said, people are excited. People are, moving forward. I think whatever objections they had, they're slowly coming down. I mean, right now you can get a 5.125. for FHA going 740 FICO, and now you can still be in the high fives with conventional if you're at a good FICO score. So right. People are seeing that. People are reevaluating. They want to jump into the market. And yeah, I mean, again, like I think we said on the first or second Zoom of this year, any objections you had in the market, they're going away. They're going away. So whatever excuse you had, I don't know what other excuses you can come up with besides, like you said, I'm waiting for the market to completely crash, which I haven't seen too many people getting price reductions or things. I'm seeing a lot more of my agents when they're putting in offers, at list, offers, or, they're not coming in crazy with 10, 15K credits as they were before. Last year, I saw almost every offer that I came in with had some kind of credit tied to it. This year, I'm not seeing a lot of that right now. I don't know if sellers are just not open to it. Maybe there's more activity. Maybe you guys can talk about that, but I'm not seeing as many seller credits to the buyers as I did last year.
I have two transactions that, come to mind. One is on the seller side where the buyer I thought was asking, kind of like buyers were, a few months ago, feeling the ropes and kind of being a little pushy, and they asked for a bunch of stuff, and my seller just said no. Like, you got a good deal on the house. We got under contract a month ago, and the market's probably gotten up a little bit since then, or certainly gotten a little tighter, and they took it and closed. And then another one where we're on the buyer side, and it's a $2 million property, and we're asking for, I forget the amount, I want to say $29,000 of credit, and the seller said yes. Why? Because they're buying another house. And so they're afraid if we back out, then they're going to lose that house. And so I think if there's enough, energy, when the things are positive, when things are going, downhill, yes, momentum, things start to move a little easier, a little faster. I think that we're kind of unlocking that. I wanted to show a little bit rates over the last year now, they just have slowly come down.
Yeah.
This is the Fannie Mae acceptance rate. So you can get loans, as Shan said, what, 5.5 today or 5?
Well, FHA where I'm at is 5.125. That's like the lowest that I have right now.
That's just an indicator of the overall rates. But I wanted to show you what the last 10 years, because I think that we got used to unfairly high interest rates over the last 3-4 year period. I think the COVID, our economy changed fundamentally. And I think part of it is, policies, and part of it's, expectations. But if you look, rates have come down over the last year or so. Look where they were previously before the COVID period, meaning we had rates in the, 30-year fixed rates in the 2.5%, 3%. Now, was that because the Fed was printing money? Partially. Were they spending too much? Well, no, because when they started spending money is when the rates went up quite a bit. And so I think that now I'm not saying the rates are going to drop down to 3%, 4% tomorrow, but I'm saying as the economy works through the debt, our trade deficit's down, our budget deficit as a country is down, inflation costs are down, real wages are up. As those things work themselves out, there's fears about tariffs causing inflation. That doesn't seem to have happened. As all that kind of works through, I think we're going to go back onto more normal historic long-term trends. And so as a home buyer, if you can afford now, and we've said this over and over again, you get like a free redo. If you buy now when rates are in the 5s and they go down to 4, you can do a no-cost refinance and save money monthly. And that's why I think home buyers are smart. If you can, now you have to afford the property, but if you can afford it. Mm-hmm. And I just want to show one other graph actually before I leave there.
I love these graphs.
This is the applications, purchase applications. Notice rates came down and purchase applications coming up. Now, what you'll notice is, look how high purchase applications were back when rates were in the 4s. And then when rates went up, it crashed down. And so this is the number of people that should be buying houses but can't because they're affording it. But these people didn't buy then. So there's what's called pent-up demand. There's people who would have otherwise bought in their 20s, 30s, 40s, who didn't buy, who would like to have bought. But now if they have the opportunity, we'll step in, I think. So I think overall, the fundamentals of the market, now everything could change tomorrow. If we start lobbing bombs at Iran, who knows what happens? If China invades Taiwan, who knows what happens? But based on today, with rates where they're at and the purchase demand, I think as a home buyer, there's a chance to get in if you can afford it. And hopefully, if historic norms happen again, you'll get a chance even to get a free pass on lower rates.
Yeah. I mean, well, what do you guys think about that too? Because there is talks about all these things in Iran and geopolitical, conflicts that are happening. Is there going to be a big, recession happening in 2027? I don't know. I'm seeing all these, I don't know if they're just scare tactics or what. I've been watching the moves go up more than I should be, but but I don't see that translate into the housing market. Everyone that I know that's buying, and maybe because I'm biased, I'm a lender, people will call me that they're excited. They're like, hey, we want to do this. Yeah. No one's talking about.
People always need a place to live, right? That's the other thing to remember is it doesn't matter what's going on in the world. You always need a roof over your head. So whether you're living, with your family or you're single, maybe you move in with friends, but you're always going to need a roof over your head. And so people that have been renting for a long time, they are looking to start their homeownership journey. So those are some buyers that I've been talking to lately, that they're anxious to get into a home where they're not going to have the rental increases every year. And, they're not going to be faced to move if the seller's deciding to sell the building. That's another thing that you face as a renter. And just keeping the property updated too. I remember growing up, I lived in an apartment where the landlord didn't really make any updates. And so it doesn't matter what you want as a tenant, right? If you want the building to be painted, if you think that it's falling apart, you could always move and go live somewhere else. But the whole point of that is that when you have your own property in your own home, you can customize it, you can make the updates that it needs, and basically make it your own home. So I see a lot of people that are coming out of that renting phase, and they're like in their 30s and they're looking to get into their first home.
I also think, and I have a podcast on the real estate news being misleading. I also think sometimes you'll see the news say, well, most people think it's a bad time to buy. Okay, but most people aren't buying houses every year, right? Every year we have maybe 5 million people buy houses out of 330 million Americans. Maybe those 5 million people represent 20 million people. That's still like 20 million out of 335 million Americans. So, unfortunately, it's become more for the people in the upper half or maybe upper third or upper quarter income-wise. And I'm not saying that's a good thing, but that's the reality. But more people want to buy, and more people, I think, with rates coming down and the economy where it is, are able to buy. And so if you're one of them, this is a chance to take advantage of that opportunity.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I don't know about you guys. I don't see prices really coming down like that anytime soon. Everyone's waiting on it, but I don't see it.
Well, I think in Los Angeles, we just burned down like 18,000 houses. That helped the inventory right there. I mean, I hate to be callous about it. And I know people, I have neighbors just moved in who their house burned down in the Palisades. I mean, it's sad on one hand. On the other hand, from an economic point of view, it makes all the houses are standing worth more because people got to buy somewhere, right? If you had a house in the Palisades, the guy up the street from me is a very successful electrical contractor. I mean, he has a business worth tens of millions of dollars. Their house burned down. Well, they bought a house in my neighborhood. It was just redone and sold for like $5 million. Paid cash. But why? So the whole neighborhood goes up in value because these houses burned down the Palisades, and these people are going to buy somewhere. So I think that's a factor helping us here in the Los Angeles area. Even though there's some bad economic news, the good news is we're not building houses, and the ones we have here are seeming to be hold the value.
Yeah. No, you make a good point. And for those of you out there, I'm actually now, Patricia talking about intergenerational. I'm getting a few applicants that are getting help from family in terms of gift funds and people that, or maybe they're pulling out money from their own house to help their kids buy something. I actually got 2 of those in the last 3 weeks of, again, they're in their late 20s, early 30s, and they have family members that are going to help them with the down payment. They just say, hey, qualify for the house, and we'll help you with the down payment, which is very nice. If you guys have family and parents that can do that, that is amazing. If you don't, again, there's the CalHAPA program that's coming out on the 24th. You can apply for, or they have their regular down payment assistance program that people forget about. But that 3.5% down that you need as an FHA, they'll help you out with that 3.5%, and they won't take equity. They'll just take a percentage of whatever that 3.5% that they let you borrow, either when you cash out some equity or when you sell. So, but going back to it, I am seeing a lot of intergenerational purchasing, if you will. It's rare where I see the parents, which I do see, but it's rare when I see the parents just buy it for them, and then hey, they have them live there. But it's more of, hey, you guys get qualified, you do all that, and if it's money that you need, I'll help you out with the money. So,
I live in an area where a lot of people my age buying houses for their kids and giving them to them. I said to my daughter, "Well, that's not going to happen." Sorry, honey, it's just not. We're not.
Why not? Why wouldn't you give your daughter? I'm just curious. I don't know.
I don't have $2 million to buy him a house. I mean, it's as simple as that. There's a guy, the neighbor of ours who
he's not the electrician up the street, Shannon.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not. I'm a real estate broker who's providing for my family. I mean, the truth is, I don't feel embarrassed to say that. In that, I've done the best I can, take care of my family, and I paid for college, and I paid for a wedding, and left it debt free, and we help out, and whatever. You make different life choices. But I'm saying there are people literally who just bought a $2 million house for their kids. You can live in it. It'd be nice if I had $2 million. Would I do that? Maybe. That'd be kind of a fun way to live. But it's not going to happen. And it's interesting because my son-in-law came the other day because they're looking to buy a duplex with friends of theirs, and they're thinking they both have the same number of kids, same ages, they're best friends. Maybe they each buy it together. Of course, there's issues when you buy property with somebody who's not family members, so they're aware of that issue. And he said to me, well, we'd love to buy with you guys. This particular property, unfortunately, doesn't work because our next house has to be 1 story. My wife and I are a little older. But I said, wow, that'd be kind of an interesting idea, that because my wife, drives to their house to babysit the kids and such. If we were in the same building almost, it'd be even more convenient. So I can see why interfamily stuff is definitely on the horizon.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. So maybe that could be a poll. I mean, do you want help with your wedding or with a house? I might just choose the house.
Right.
I would have. I offered my daughter that actually when she went to college. I said,
Oh, you did?
I'll give you three choices. We save the money for college. So I'll pay for college, or B, we'll take that money used for down payment on real estate, or C, we'll take that money and use it for you to fund a business if you want to go into business.
Oh, wow.
And she really wanted to go to college. So, that was a choice she made. But
That'd be a great little poll. What would you have chosen, Bill, if you
real
were
estate.
Yeah.
I just think education now is so devalued that, especially with technology now, you can learn anything so easily and get expertise so quickly. Experience is very valuable. I think she got jobs while she was in high school, while she was in college, and then when she graduated right away and learned a lot. And I think that's more valuable than anything she learned in school. But to have the money to buy real estate, I think would have been, would have made more sense. But whatever, it's not my life, it's her life. And my job is to give her the, opportunity and values.
No, yeah. Well, what about you, Patricia? What would you have chosen if you were Bill's daughter?
Yep, I would have chosen real estate.
Yeah.
So I come from very humble beginnings. I've worked since I was 15. I've bought my own homes that I've lived in, sold them, and now I'm in Downey. I don't think I'll be moving again. But I've just always loved this business. I loved painting, remodeling homes, and making them my own. So, and then when I was ready for the next one, I would do the same thing. So it's something that I've always really enjoyed.
That's awesome. I would have chosen the same thing. I would have chosen the same thing. Real estate, I think, is the best bet, the safest bet. And like you said, I have family members, who have computer science degrees and haven't had a job. I would say couldn't find a job the last 3 years. It's been no job, living with family. Again, bachelor's in computer science. One of them has a master's, and nothing. There's nothing out there. And I mean, granted, I don't think the people skills are there too. I think they were just hedging all their chips on the computer science side of things, and they just don't have that hustle bustle. They have that mentality of jobs should be coming to me. Why am I going out to? So yeah, that probably could be another conversation. What's more valuable these days, real estate or a degree? Because
Right.
sometimes these degrees, to get a degree, those prices are comparable.
Yeah.
There's a difference between the value of a degree and the value of the education, right? The education is very valuable, but the degree, I think what we've learned now is degrees really aren't worth much. They're very overvalued, and the people made tremendously bad decisions with huge student debt for degrees that just don't generate any value for them. It's really hard because they were taught. I was kind of taught that in a sense, and I was taught. My biggest career mistake was I left sales and went into management. I did that for a few years, and even though I got a nice salary and I made more than I was making after a while, more than I was making as a salesperson, I would have made more as a salesperson had I stayed at it longer. But in my generation, managers were more prestigious than say salespeople. Well, salespeople are really entrepreneurs. I own a business. It's not like I'm a salesperson for some company. I run my own business. But again, I think that my generation was kind of seduced by position as well as degrees. And we're finding out now that the education is important, the skills are important, but the degree probably is not of any value.
Yeah.
Well, and I think for a period of time, there was this boom in tech, right? And computer science, web design, graphics, graphic designing. But now with AI and the advancement of AI, you really have to incorporate that into your business so that you can use AI for your business, right? Not let it run you out of the business, but you actually have to incorporate it into your business so that you can streamline what you're doing in your business by using AI.
It's funny you say that you bring up AI. I've been obsessed with it for the last 6 months. I pay for a few different models. I spend at least 30 minutes a day learning, playing with it, trying to understand it and develop my skills. Much like I see the internet, this is a chance to really upgrade and upcharge or uplink, what I'm doing. All the suggestions for real estate agents are about creating content and posting it and which I think are important, but I think that's what we are supposed to do is the content should be us, not some AI. Like if the AI could do this better than us, well, it does do it better for us, maybe for strangers, but for people who know us, they want to see us. See with my podcast, I think that's the distinction. And I think that the AI can replace the tasks, but it can't replace the experience, the knowledge, and the caring for the customer. And so I think that's where we as realtors have to make sure we focus and don't try to replace yourself with the AI. Replace all the tasks you don't want to do with AI so you have more time to interact and help your customers. So I think there's really a very, well, it's really taking over in so many businesses. It's struggling to find its fit, I think, in real estate from what I see.
Yeah, I think you're right. You still have, you see my dog. He just peeked in here. You still have to be we're still the problem solvers for our clients, right? We can't have AI do that. So we have to be, we're the face of our business. And so that means still interacting with the customer, showing them how we're solving a problem that we may see as forthcoming, right? And providing those solutions. So those are things that we can't really replace with AI because the client wants to see us. They want to talk to us. They don't want to be chatting with a bot at 2 p.m. when they could be chatting with the actual agent.
That's the stupidest thing. I see these realtors are so excited about these bot systems. Like, well, why would you want prospective customers talking to a bot and not you? Like, how busy really are you? You know, I'm a pretty busy guy, but I'll call back within half an hour for prospective seller calls or attorney calls I work with. But I just think that they miss. They're trying to get rid of the piece that people want. And to your point, you know, like I get, you know, reports, preliminary title reports, inspection reports, and I do use AI to review them and highlight key points. And then I, you know, reread it and look at those key points. But then I call the customer or I take what they provide and put an email in my tone. If the AI could replace me, but they can't. The customer wants me to double check, they have their own ChatGPT. They've already looked at it on ChatGPT. But they're asking me, what do I see of this? And I think that's where, as real estate agents, we better make ourselves available for that interaction with customers, or we'll get replaced by Zillow or Google or Facebook or somebody.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, for all we know, you guys are you Zillow or Facebook? Shannon, are you real or are you Zillow or Facebook?
Am I real?
Yeah, are you real or are you an avatar? That Google
no, I'm real. I'm real just for the time being. Okay. If there's an AI that will replace my face and do some content, we'll see.
They'll make avatars that good looking, Shannon, so you're in good shape.
But at least they might be on time. Okay. But no, but you know what? This brings up a good concern about first-time homebuyers and jobs. You know, because obviously, it's one of the main things you need. You know, for mortgages, income. So
you need to have income.
Exactly. So, but you know, it's a good thing to look at. Again, what is that saying? They say that as of right now, you know, AI won't replace the job. You know, the person who's using AI will replace your job. So, you know, at least for the time being, for now, they say all these gurus say we have 2 to 5 years until that gap closes. I don't know. But they are saying that real estate is going to be a luxury item pretty soon, as prices just continue to go up.
I don't know about that.
You don't think so?
Pitch is right. I think people want a place to live.
Yeah.
Own the place. Yeah. Not everybody, but I just think that part of American values is people want to own their house and they want to customize the way they want it. And they want to own it. They want to feel agency over their life that way.
No, yeah, I agree.
They want to leave it to their kids and their family, right? That's part of the legacy of that homeowner, of that first-time buyer. They want to raise a family there, have a sustainable, home for their family, raise their family, and then leave the home to their kids. Yeah,
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Well, it's a nice discussion here. I think we went a little longer than we normally do because it was some good stuff. So appreciate you guys. Shannon, any highlights this weekend? And if so, how would somebody get a hold of you?
Yeah, no, honestly, I'm doing a lot of pre-applications for people that want to do the Dream for All program. So if you want, reach out to me, 661-317-8484, or my Instagram, FUND Fun with Shannon. We can get you pre-approved. So that way, by the time the portal opens, you have your lender pre-approval letter along with everything else you're going to need. So give me a call and we can definitely help you set that up.
Yes, get started today.
Lisa, what do you have going on this weekend, and how can somebody get a hold of you?
So I have an open house coming up.
Really?
Cannot provide the address, but it's in Monterey Park, and it's
Can't provide the address because we're not marketing it yet, but we might be by Friday. So you might want to call Patricia and get in on the inside on this one.
It's a nice home. So I'll be there Saturday, and you can reach out to me for more details. 323-365-9909.
And how nice the house is. You get a chance to talk to Patricia. That's always definitely valuable. So take advantage of that. I'm Bill Gross at Bill Gross Probate. As always, if I can help you, please reach out. And as always, make today your best day ever. Thanks so much, everybody.